Welcome to the Ellen Show. I'm just playing. My name is Adina. You guys are Beyond the Veil. Do I look like an Ellen? Okay, I look like an Adina. This reading is going to be on Ellen DeGeneres. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Let me just preface this reading by me saying I've never read Ellen, not even personally to myself in all the years that I've been reading. Never read her on my channel, but I don't need to. Okay? I'm not going to be biased in this reading because I don't even know what's going to come out. I don't even know what I'm going to ask yet. I pressed play and decided to do the reading on Ellen. But my gut don't lie. My spirit don't lie. I mean, I need the cards. Me eye don't lie. Me spirit don't lie. Me don't like she. Me don't like she. When I look into her piercing blue eyes, I feel icicles going up my spine like she has this superpower, like she's Elsa. And if you look into her piercing blue eyes, you will start to freeze. That's what I felt. Looking into her piercing blue eyes, I felt like she was Elsa, okay? I felt frozen from the inside. I felt icicles attaching and formulating to my organs, honey. And I said, get thee from me, Satan! Hashatan. Depart from me. Get thee behind me, Hashatan. I sure did. Just like my grandma told me to. Behind me or under me. All right. Ellen DeGeneres, I heard you left the States. Let's see why. Most High Mother and Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this gift. Thank you for the platform I use it on. And thank you for these beautiful people. Most High Mother and Father God, please allow me to conjure up the soul and the spirit of Ellen DeGeneres. DeGeneres? I think it's DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres. What does this mean, you guys? I be doing it with the little kids and stuff when I be seeing all the little TikTok kids in my family. I be like, ha! And they be like, could you stop? I don't even know what it means, but I just be doing it. What it mean? Oh, somebody tell me. Ellen DeGeneres. When I close my eyes, I see her looking at me. But the difference about me looking into those piercing blue eyes is that her eyes have lowered. They're not standing up at attention like it was on her show when she was in control. They're worried now. I see worry lines. Like literally the shape of her eye, the something about it slants down like this in my mind because of the worry. I could see pools of water pulling under on your bottom lid, but they don't fall though. I don't see them falling. It just get a little watery in there. I think that's a tough bitch. Okay. I don't see the tears making it to the cheek, but it's gonna make it to that part. Okay. All right, Ellen. Ellen DeGeneres. Why you look like that? I don't feel no frozen. I feel hot. I feel hot. I've been having heat flashes all day. That's what I feel. Where is the ice? She's scared. Okay. All right, Ellen. Does she have a dog? I'm sure she does. If she has a dog, I feel like the dog is a great source of comfort to her right now, more so than the wife. I need to see this. This is, I don't know why it's sticking out to me so like a thorn in my side. Does Ellen why everybody want to know if she got siblings? Oh, because she has a brother. First things that pops up, does she have a twin brother? Does Ellen DeGeneres have pets? She has a dog named Wolf, a poodle Maltese mix, and Augie, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Okay, so Wolf died. She has cats. They're animal lovers. They have 3 cats and 2 dogs. Okay. I needed to see that because I feel like a dog right now, specifically, more than a cat, a dog is I see her holding it and like nestling her face into it, going to it for comfort. Ellen, talk to God. Damn, you even got dog fur on you. I see Ellen so clearly. So clearly. Even down to the dog fur on her. I see her in a white tee. Some jeans, blue jeans that are kind of rolled up at the end. Some white loafers. They look really expensive. She looks cute in my mind. But the look on her face, and I see her maybe carrying around a dog. Oh, Ellen. You are so easy for me to conjure up right now and see. It's like, maybe it's daytime wherever you are right now. I'm wondering, but, Ellen, why did you leave the U.S. permanently? Why? Spirit, please allow me to see why Ellen left the U.S. There are accusations that it could be due to Diddy. I know her and Diddy had a good relationship, and I have always heard very unnice things about Ellen. Back when I used to lurk on Lipstick Alley and just read all the tea on there. I remember seeing a few things about Ellen from a few different posters, some ex-employees and stuff like that. So anyways, Ellen, why did you leave the U.S. permanently? And are you okay? Oh, that's who else I have to read. TD Jakes, y'all, because I did a 1-card pull in my room the other night, and I asked if he had a real life medical emergency. I got the Ace of Wands in reverse, child. And if you know, you know. I was like, now, ain't that a bitch? And when I clarified it, I saw, amongst other things, the Justice card. Now, he did sue, or plans to sue someone. But that Ace of Wands in reverse, I know he said that he felt a little strange before, but he was going to push through it so that he didn't have to deprive the people that was hungering for a word of God. He didn't have to deprive them because they can't get a word from God without him. So he pushed through in sacrifice and service. Hallelujah. To deliver that message. And one of you witches in the audience, no. He was like, no, I pushed through. I wasn't even feeling that good. Now, I thought to myself, is the Ace of Wands him ignoring that first inkling? And I said, no. That would have been the Four of Cups, being apathetic about a matter. The Ace of Wands? That's a missed opportunity or something that has to do with either business or sex. And I believe it has something to do with the church business. Possibly sex too, because he could be fearing the situation with Diddy. Anyways, I'm reading Ellen. I done got too far off on Bishop. I got the Ace of Wands in reverse, which is what I wanted to tell y'all. Now I'm going to read him after this so we can get the facts. Ellen, talk to me about your departure. Shake Bishop off of me. A familiar face is the Bishop. You guys aren't close, but you've seen him around. Not saying that you've just seen him on TV. You've seen him around. Methinks. Not your cup of tea because, you know, you're a big black man and you ain't a big booty hoe. But, you know. Ellen, why are you leaving the U.S. permanently? And are you okay? Methinks that Ellen's attorney told her to get your ass up out of here and go now. Okay? Ellen, okay? Where did she go? Where does she live now? Where did Ellen go? I see some people saying, was Trump the reason she got kicked out of Hollywood? This could be Trump. Fox News said Ellen, she moved to England. Fox News 3 days ago said Ellen DeGeneres admitted to getting kicked out of Hollywood before fleeing the U.S. Let me just get a couple of facts. Oh, she does have like the crow's feet lines here. I think lately they've been hanging, drooping a little bit more. I don't think getting Botox is a concern of hers right now. Oh, it says prior to the election, she claimed on her last stand-up, Ellen's last stand-up, that she was kicked out of Hollywood for being mean. The comedian traveled to the country and told an audience,
"Hey, Fidelity,
at a gig in
how
Santa
can I
Rosa.
remember to invest every month?"
Oh no, what y'all not gonna do is force me
you can choose a schedule and
to
set up
listen to
recurring
nothing. I got the
investments
facts
in
that I
stocks
need.
and
Y'all
ETFs.
interrupted my motherfucking video.
That sounds easier than I
As a matter of
thought.
fact, we're gonna
You
close the
got
tab.
this.
Yeah, I
Just play
do.
with someone safer.
Now, where did I put my keys?
Anyways. Could be Trump. She could be fearing what he could be doing to her. Could be her attorney advising her to flee. Queen of Cups, challenging. I think that these are due to a lot of allegations that were made of her by maybe her show staff, ex-employees. I remember that there were things coming out from her staff, like, I don't remember what exactly, but I remember a time where she was catching a lot of hell from her staff on that show, current and ex-employees. I do believe, since the Queen of Cups, her having that show is in the challenging position, I do believe that her having that show did kind of make her a raging bitch. For one, it gave her power. And media power is powerful because you are the voice that the people hear. You influence people more so than, Instagrammers and stuff like that. You're a broadcaster. Remember on Scandal when the First Lady wasn't able to beat Fitz in her little scheme, and she couldn't be First Lady anymore. Vice President anymore. Sally, wasn't that her name? She did not think that it was a loss not to come back to the White House because she said, I have real power now. She got her own show. She said, I have real power now. And that's true. But the challenge is that some of that power seemed to have caused Ellen some problems. That could be the reason why she's leaving. And she said that she was kicked out of Hollywood. And so this could just be a thing where it doesn't make any sense to stay anymore. You don't plan to continue working and people don't like you. Ellen just recently, I believe, purchased maybe a mansion, sold a mansion and purchased something. I saw it in the article that I just read. They confirmed with her realtor about moving. She sold her home. She may have already had a property in England, but she bought a mansion or something. I think that's what that is. I'm going to come back to that Five of Pentacles, though. Ellen, it did seem to me that you fled some kind of allegation or litigation. This could be so that someone can't come for you. I don't know if we'll ever see Ellen again in the States on her own. This could be President Trump. This could be a little bit more conversation about Ellen and why she left. I think that people are going to say that it's to get away from some type of legal allegations of some sort. If Ellen returns, it could possibly be to face some kind of court situation if she does have to. But other than that, I don't think she plans on it. Grounding her. Let me see what's so below. Now, this is one or two things, or both. Ellen, something about when you got that show, I don't know if that's when you pissed off a lot of people, or because this Ace of Wands gives me sex and business. Ellen, you are trying to evade will at the same time become enlightened about whatever situation you're evading. I think that your legal team is advising you about potentials and possibilities, about likelihoods and things like that. I think that unless you're summoned, you ain't going no motherfucking where. Because you would like to stay out of jail. Now let me ask a question here. I know that we are good friends with the Brits. I don't think that there is an extradition situation there. I don't even know if there's anything that she could go to jail for. I'm sure she knows if there is some things. Hold on, you guys. Yes, since 2003, we've had a extradition treaty signed with the UK. Hopes and fears of strength. I would like to think that by fleeing to England, I think that Ellen is trying to say, I don't want no smoke. I hope this suffices. Three of Wands. Ellen, you may have to come back for some reason. This is always a card of plans not going the way you saw them going. This could also be because she wanted to continue working in Hollywood. I don't think that Ellen will ever move back to the USA. I don't even think it's a hard decision for her once she's not beloved in Hollywood and not powerful. Three of Wands outcome. Ellen, you may now here I see the trial, Diddy's trial on the bottom, and I also see Jay-Z. I think the hope is that Jay-Z is the next on the chopping block, because that'll completely overshadow any shit she got going on. I think this is Diddy here with this Knight of Cups. Oh no. The money exchanged hands with these people. Either Diddy and Ellen did business together, or he might have shot her some money to say, listen, leave this bitch. because you know what they're gonna see you doing. Now there's an extradition treaty, so I would think if she was trying to evade getting caught up in any of that shit, it's like she already has her own money, but he paid her off. Because she had already lost her job. Her show was already gone. She, still is well off, but no, I think Ellen, I see a concern of putting space between her relationship with Diddy because of things that they did together in the past that she doesn't want to come up. She might have spoken with him while he's been locked up. I think there's a concern about, I think those are the lawsuits that were filed against her possibly. What person passed away that was either an attorney to the stars or an advisor to the stars? Justice is what I clarified. Wasn't there some talks about some guy that maybe Diddy said kept all of them out of trouble and he passed away? There's some truth to that here. I don't know who this man was, but he deserves a reading. Because who was he? This unknown, hooded, cloaked figures that knew how to guide the stars. It's like it's like he would be hired or he would work for people. He would find things, information, people. He would tie up all their loose ends somehow, get people not to talk. This man would have protected Diddy from the trial. He would have continued to do everything that he's being accused of. The magician and the high priestess and the Nine of Pentacles, these are rituals for money and fame. A lot of people were involved. Let me tell y'all something. Now that I see this, I wouldn't have never thought I would see high magic come out in Ellen DeGeneres' reading. That is what the feds are not currently discussing. They haven't leaked everything they know, but they absolutely know about some rituals that were done at these parties. I'm talking about magic. I'm talking about magic. The high priestess and the magician here for money. This just got weird. I wasn't trying to turn this or my last reading into 30-minute readings. These are the first readings I've done since I've been under the weather, so... But I also feel like I'm seeing so many different things clearly now that I'm watching it as a movie. And I'll be here for hours if I say everything I see, so I'm trying to summarize things. There's so many details that I didn't even ask for. I think that Ellen, at first, maybe wasn't familiar with the type of rituals they were doing because they felt a little Afro-spirituality-ish, like Obeah. I heard that Diddy had a Jamaican Obeah woman. I heard that on Lipstick Alley too, somewhere. I think that Ellen participated and watched until she felt comfortable enough to join. I also don't think that this is just at Diddy's parties. I think that she's been in some other rituals, obviously. Not obviously, but some other rituals with other groups too. I don't even know. I was trying to read her outcome. Spirit, will Ellen DeGeneres ever come back to the U.S. willingly? Because that's what I'm trying to get to with that card. I don't think so. She don't have no more ties here. No more friends. No more show. The love is gone. I don't think so. All right. How long does it take y'all to fry chicken or fries in the air fryer? Girl, I don't use the air fryer. I need grease. My ancestors that be cooking through me don't recognize that. Maybe one day I will get taught about the air fryer so I can teach them, but they turn their nose up at it. And so I've never used one because in my mind, when I think about it, my ancestors be like, now how the hell that work? It ain't fried if it ain't in grease. We don't know nothing about that, girl. Get that oil from down there and sizzle that pot. Let them, I see an attorney here in the near future. Could be settlements from ex-employees, possibly. She might have had to pay settlements out to some ex-employees, or she may have to in the future if those allegations about her come back up since she moved. They could come out fresh again, some tea about Ellen. The same stuff that she was running away from, because now that she moved, people are going to be looking into her. And there's a new generation out here that's heavily invested in what's going on, that wasn't always old, that wasn't old enough at the time that a lot of this stuff happened. So a lot of the tea that we already know is fresh to them, and they want to talk about it. Queen of Cups. Ellen, I think that show made you a lot of money, but it ruined a lot of relationships, even at the network. At the show. I think that the network had no choice but to cancel you because of the amount of people that were complaining. Seems like they were willing to let it ride while whoever runs that network or show was making money. But then they didn't want nothing to do with you once you became a liability. When did Ellen's show get canceled? Yeah, a lot of stuff was ignored that Ellen may have done because she had a lot of powerful friends in Hollywood. But it seems that she not only pissed off staff, somehow she pissed off some of her peers. Or she just became unprotectable. I think that there were a lot of accusations about her being a raging bitch. I think that people might have been walking on eggshells around her at some point. Seems that she had a really good relationship with a male at the show or at the network. And so none of the people really felt comfortable even really complaining to this higher up, because it was always ignored because of the money that the show was making. Now here's Diddy, for sure, with this King of Cups. I think Ellen is also on a couple freak-off tapes, but I don't think she did anything illegal on those tapes. I think Ellen was there. Now this is her wife, ex-wife maybe. I don't know. 10 of Cups in reverse. Methinks Ellen has been seen on some Diddy freak-off footage. And I think all of these reasons are reasons why Ellen left. The tides have changed. Oh, her and her wife may be going through it too. This could be the ex-wife. Didn't one pass away? A girlfriend, what's her name? Ellen's. Let me move these so I can, because I'm about done. Oh, and Heche. That was Ellen's ex-girlfriend. Ellen, I think you were abusive to this woman. I think all of these reasons and the changing tides in Hollywood are why Ellen left. I think that we'll explore her past in the near future, kind of like what we're doing now. But I'm curious, Spirit, give me one card for... Sorry, y'all, I gotta... I was about to ask, how does Ellen DeGeneres feel about Anne Heche's death? That's what I was about to ask. But before I can get that shit out my mouth, a card flew out. I will just say about the magician, not about Ellen. The magician is not passive, is not a passive participant in anything he does. In fact, the magician masterminds it. This ain't the kind of person that would be with a fugitive in the car and they get pulled over and then the police feel like this person just did not know that the person was a fugitive. This isn't a person who got picked up by their boyfriend one day to go out after he done robbed the bank to get money to take you out. And then y'all get pulled over and you're like, the fudge. No, the magician actually probably was the mastermind or equally involved in the crime. Spirit, clarify the magician. It flew out before I could even get the question out of my lips. Judgment in reversed. Eight of Wands in reversed. I don't see Ellen cutting Anne's brakes or anything like that, causing the accident. I believe that Ellen feels responsible for it in some way. I think there was a call that was made prior to Portia leaving somewhere. A secret call. Somebody knew that she wasn't going to return from whatever trip she was on, wherever she was. If people, and I'm going to close with this because this is the message I just saw. If people want truth about Anne Heche a little bit more than what's been revealed, they can get it. This isn't one of those situations where it would be impossible to get a new story from what was originally told. And I'm only seeing that because of something I see in the cards here. The Six of Pentacles, the World, the Knight of Cups. It made me think about, yes, she moved. She sold all her shit, moved to another country. But if you keep looking, keep following payments and money, if people were to keep connecting dots, when I clarified that, I think something from that event, Anne Heche, could be found, exposed or something, that may turn this case, or Anne's, the story of her passing. Something about the car and some things being hidden and kept secret. Had reportedly hit an apartment. Footage captured the doorbell cameras at the time, caught what traveling at a high speed in the moments before the collision. Something about that car, her being seen traveling at a high speed and crashing, something about that isn't right. And somewhere, it's like whoever, talk to them anymore, Ace of Pentacles. I think someone was paid to do something. There's a party in here that had a more contributing role to like the literal actions taken at the time of Anne Heche's accident. And methinks if you follow the money, follow Ellen's money. I'm going to end by saying this. Anne Heche, her passing can absolutely, if someone cares enough, her story can absolutely have a different outcome, because there's something that could be found. It could have been buried, but it definitely is something out there that isn't, it can be found. I'll say that. And if found, like information or evidence or something, if found, it wouldn't make her passing look like an accidental car accident. It'll look like some foul play. All right, love you guys. Bye.